I believe that the morning is probably the most important time of the day because I get all my stuff done in the morning, right? I get my cardio done, I get my morning sunlight, I eat my first meal of the day, I have the most ideas come to me in the morning, I feel the best in the morning, I usually get the most work done in the morning, I usually record these videos in the morning, I just feel the best that I do in the day in the morning. I kind of make it a mission of mine to have a really good morning. There's a lot of morning routines out there online that you can look up. You can watch tons of videos on really good morning routines, and the key in that word is routine, right? A lot of people overcomplicate this and they do this and they do that and they do this kind of like red light exposure therapy, this certain supplements that they take in the morning, and they do all these different things in the morning to try and have the best morning possible. But I am under the belief that the morning and how good your morning is going to be and how good it's going to feel and what you're going to get done is purely determined by the night before. So in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about what I do and what's helped me, and hopefully it can help you as well in having a good morning. And I'm calling this video morning routine, but really, this is an evening routine. It's what you do the day before that's really going to help you. Now, not a lot of people talk about this. It doesn't sound very nice. It's not a very viral thing. It's not very trendy to talk about what to do the night before to actually have a good morning. But if you think about it, it makes sense, because have you ever woken up and feel quite angry, or you feel a bit frustrated and you just know, you wake up and you just know, today isn't the day. I'm not going to have a very good time. And I've done this. This used to happen a lot. I used to wake up and just feel a little bit angry. And those would always be the mornings where I would just lay about, maybe watch some TV, watch a bit of Netflix, wake up, roll over onto my phone, scroll through Instagram. And those would be the kind of mornings that I had for years. And, you know, they just set your whole day up. If your morning is bad, it sets your entire day up after the morning to just be a bad day, in my opinion. That's what happens to me. If I have a bad morning, I'm having a bad day. So I want to talk to you about what I do to make sure that like pretty much every morning I have now is usually a good morning. 95% of the time I'm having a good morning, and it usually sets me up for a good day. And it's all dependent on what I do the night before. So the first thing I want to get across to you is making sure that the night before is good. Now, I have a few kind of habits and, you know, rituals that I do the night before that I think do set me up for a good morning. And the number one thing that I like to do is I like to fill out my habit tracker at night. So I get in front of my habit tracker, right? Which I'll grab for you here, just so you can see that I'm not bullshitting you. So that is my habit tracker. Okay. Don't know if you can see that. Should be able to. So you can see that not everything's ticked. You know, I never have a perfect day. Some days are perfect. Some days literally everything's ticked, but some days not. Some days aren't. And yeah, that's my habit tracker. And I fill this in at night. And I feel like this actually, you know, the days where I haven't filled this in and I've had to fill it in the next morning because I forgot, it's kind of like a thing that I have to do in the morning, and I rush it and I get it done, and I feel kind of bad that I haven't done it the night before. But if you get in front of a habit tracker and you can make a habit tracker for yourself, and you can get in front of it before you go to bed, literally right before you're about to go to bed, you can kind of reflect on the day, look back at what you've done, be honest, you know, if you haven't done something, don't tick it off. And you can kind of reflect on the day, and this allows me to plan, okay, if I haven't done something on here, I'll think, right, tomorrow, I'm going to get that thing done, right? For example, this second column says eat the frog. If you don't know what eat the frog means, this is like the really deep work for the day, right? The hard task, right? Recording videos, editing a video, that kind of thing. That's my deep work. And you can see there's days on here where I haven't done it because I've been lazy. And if I haven't done it, I'll put an X in there, and then I'll do that the night before, right before I go to bed. And that is kind of a way to plan what I'm going to do tomorrow. So I think, right, I haven't done this thing today. So what I'm going to do instead is I might just get another piece of paper out and just write down, just for 5 minutes, a couple video ideas, a couple things I want to talk to you guys about. And I'll write those down, and then that gives me a plan for the next morning, right? And it's allowing me to reflect on the day. Things like training, that's always ticked. I'm never have any issue training. Going for a morning walk, sometimes that's not ticked, and that is a huge thing for me. So this is something that happened to me recently, actually. I had a day where I didn't go for a morning walk because it was kind of a busy morning, and it was one of those mornings where I woke up, felt a bit frustrated, didn't really feel great. Didn't go for a morning walk. I ended up just rolling over onto my computer and working. And I actually had a really bad day, so I felt really almost angry. It's weird, I felt like angry because I didn't go on that morning walk, and that just shows how important that is. And that set me up terribly for the day, made me have a terrible night's sleep. I wasn't thinking clearly, I wasn't on it, didn't feel very good. So getting in front of this habit tracker at night, in my opinion, and it's my belief that after doing this for a few weeks, it's allowed me to have a better morning, because every morning now I'm like, right, I haven't done that thing yesterday, let's do it today, let's do it this morning, right? And pretty much everything in this habit tracker is in the morning, apart from like training and journaling, meditating, because that's what happens on a night. Everything else pretty much on there is for the morning. So what I would say is that's the first thing, right? Get a habit tracker, fill it in on a night, and then that's gonna set you up nicely for the next day. It's allowing you to plan in what you're gonna do for the next day. Instead of just waking up and thinking, right, what we're doing today, you can kind of have a bit of an outline thinking, right, yesterday I didn't do this thing, let's do it today, right? It gives you a bit of a plan, right? And I believe that's the first key part of the morning routine, because you're waking up with a plan. And the next thing I'd say is avoiding bright lights and bright screens before you go to bed. This is something I had a huge problem with. I'd stay up late watching YouTube videos, watching Markiplier, play video games. And what this did is it actually, when you look at bright lights before you go to sleep, it tricks your brain into thinking it's still the daytime. I know that sounds really silly, but it does. There's science behind this, right? And that actually makes you have a worse sleep. So what I'd say is about an hour before you go to bed, just avoid your phone, avoid laptops. Don't be watching Netflix. Just maybe read a book. Or, if you've got a Kindle, I've got a Kindle here, reading a few books on there at the moment. It's got no charge in it at the moment, but you could just read something on that, because that's not a very bright screen. So just do something different, right? Don't look at like LED screens, okay? That's the second tip. And the final tip I'll give you is, and this is like part of the morning, right? So you've got the evening sorted before you go to bed. Those two things should set you up for a good morning, right? Now, in the actual morning, I've said this before, I'll say it again. I'm a super big fan of this. Going for a morning walk as soon as you wake up, in the sun, even if it's not sunny, if it's cloudy, if it's raining, going for a morning walk, getting outside, getting that sunlight exposure, that is going to hugely set up your day for a good day, right? You're going to see that it's going to improve your circadian rhythm. It's going to allow you to get to sleep better. It's a bit of cardio, allows you to get outside, fresh air. It's a great way to start your day. I've been doing this religiously. There's a couple of days you can see on the habit tracker that I missed, but it's allowed me just to get outside and get out of the house, right? And it's super helpful for me. It's like a ritual now, right? And like I said, if I don't do that morning walk, I feel bad, right, for the rest of the day. And that's why it's on my habit tracker to say, have you done this, okay? Because it's so important to me, and I believe this will help you as well. Morning walk, and these have been super helpful for me. And yeah, I guess if you're on self-improvement, this might be helpful for you. Maybe you're doing some of these things, maybe you're not doing some of them, maybe you're doing all of these things, and maybe you just need this video to sort of just affirm why you're doing them, And yeah, anyway, hope you got some value out of this video. Hope it helped you. Let me know if this routine helps you in any way. And yeah, improve yourself by 1% every day and you'll get there. See ya.